Okay, sorry for the interruption. Okay, so who comes on behalf of Juliet is the nurse, and she comes to make sure that Romeo has made all plans for their marriage. She whispers this to Romeo so nobody else hears what they are talking about. So that makes two people total who know about their marriage, the nurse and Friar Lawrence. Where does Romeo ask the nurse to tell Juliet to go, and what will happen there? He tells the nurse to go to Friar Lawrence's cell and that they will be married there. The nurse gets very excited. And the last thing is that the nurse helps Romeo and Juliet celebrate their wedding night by setting up a cloth ladder so that Romeo might go up to Juliet's room on their wedding night to consummate their marriage. This is scene 5. Why does the nurse claim she cannot tell Juliet about her meeting with Romeo? She's too tired. She's been doing all this walking. She's sore and out of breath. She does this because she thinks she's really funny. She becomes like a little bit of a clown in the story because she's always relieving tension. We call this a comic relief in literature. Where does the nurse tell Juliet Romeo is waiting for her? Friar Lawrence's cell. And the last scene of Act 2 is scene 6. It says scene 5, I know. What does Romeo say he doesn't care about? He doesn't care about any misfortune that might come his way due to his rash or brash marriage to Juliet. Friar Lawrence provides some advice to Romeo. What's his advice? Do not move too quickly. Go slowly and love moderately. Don't overdo it. Don't be too intense because then your love will die, right? Why can Juliet not speak so poetically? Juliet cannot speak so poetically of her love because her love is far too great to be so easily described. And what can happen at the end? What happens at the end of the scene is that they are married. Okay, let me go back and look at your analysis questions. I don't know if you hear the laughing in the background. Sorry. Okay. The first scene here is searching for Romeo. And I asked some questions about the friendships here. This is really significant. Mercutio is making fun of him. He makes fun of Romeo, but he's not wrong. He's being honest, okay? So there's really like two different versions of friends here. You have Benvolio, who's very kind and caring and compassionate and empathetic. And then you have Mercutio, who is not empathetic at all. He does not understand why Romeo is being so weak-minded over love. Both of these guys are really good friends to Romeo. It's in totally your opinion which one you think is being a better friend to him. But this is the scene that you would really write about for that kind of analysis because these two men are talking about Romeo and they're both being considerate but just in different ways. Oh, the balcony scene. The balcony scene is so significant for understanding Romeo's intentions or love to Juliet. In this whole scene, all he does is talk about how beautiful she is and how over the top his love is for her. It makes it a little hard to believe him, okay? So I would say for the question about love and how Romeo feels, I would really look at his speech here where he talks about Juliet because he's very dramatic. And it's really interesting because it's up to you to decide, is he being genuine? Is this real love or is this something more physical? Romeo with his friends. Okay. This is with Friar Lawrence, and you can really see Friar Lawrence's role in Romeo's life. He gives him so much solid advice. What kind of person gives really good life advice to you? Think about that. That's the type of person Friar Lawrence is to Romeo. So when you identify the type of relationship they have, make sure you're explaining to me that he is some kind of person who gives advice to Romeo. Okay? The wedding. Friar Lawrence, again, talks about taking things slow, loving moderately. We don't want to be violent in our love or too brash in it because that's what's going to give us an ending that's not good. He talks about gunpowder. He talks about explosions. He talks about all of these negative qualities when talking about love. And the reason he's doing that is a foreshadowing technique that makes you start thinking what's going to happen to these two people because of this marriage. You should remember what happens to them because we read about it in the first act already, but still. You can see Friar Lawrence here is really an important character, kind of giving hints and clues to the future for all readers, which is called foreshadowing. Okay, here you go. Good luck on your quiz.